68, 95, 99.7 rule. And it involves the usage of standard deviations, and it involves the usage of formulas, if you want, or just basic logic arithmetic. If you weren't already aware, they're going to emphasize your knowledge of those rules. So what's associated with distributions that fall within one standard deviation? 68. Within 2 standard deviations? And within 3 standard deviations? I can't believe that we're giving you so many easy questions and not challenging you. Could that be a question on the test? Yes. A z-score. The statistical name for a standard score is called a z-score. A standard score measures standard deviations away from the mean. So a z-score measures standard deviations away from the mean. There's a definition question. At least 3 questions on the test are standard definition questions out of this section. So you should get at least a 24 if those are 8-point problems. But I would hope you're closer to a 94 or better. Oh, do I want to navigate away? No, because I haven't checked that yet. Now I'm going to navigate away. Okay, now we haven't talked about this thing. But we're talking about percentages in the middle, and now we have another type of measurement that we have to deal with. So back to this for a second. I made a mistake there in the other class. This is what we would have done if we wanted to memorize a formula. I show you the formula simply because there's one question in the homework which expects you to be familiar with the formula. But when I asked you how far away from the mean you were automatically doing a subtraction problem to begin with. And if I asked you what part of the standard step was, you were automatically doing a division problem to begin with. So you don't need to memorize an obnoxious formula unless you have the mindset that says I like formulas instead of doing logical things or drawing pictures. It's up to you. So there's the mathematics for what we did on the previous one if I were looking at a formula-related base of the problem. Okay? A percentile. A percentile measures a position. It's a measure of position. I keep finding all kinds of typos in there. It's a measure of position used in statistics that indicates the percentage of values that fall below an observed data item. It's a very specific concept. So to emphasize that, I'll put that in red. So that means there's a very specific procedure that you have to have. Number 1, if you're going to find percentile, bad news, your calculator won't find it for you. Damn. Good news is they don't give you a huge data set that you have to suffer with. But number 1, you have to have your data arranged in sequential order. Or you're going to be playing a whole awful lot of hide and go seek. Now, this data is in sequential order. So if it's not already ordered, number 1, order the data. Best if it is in increasing order. Smallest to largest is best. It's easier for you. Number 2, count the number of items below your target value. And what's our target value on this problem? 47. Okay? So we locate 47, and we say, there I am. And now we count the number of items that are below that value. Divide the number of items below target by the total. And Yes, I'm gonna fix that misspelling up there. I know it offends you too. Convert to a percent. Round that up to the next larger integer. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 values out of the 13 values are below a particular score. 10 out of 13 gives me a large decimal. I convert that to a percent by multiplying by 100, and now I round that up. Why round it up? 76.9% is below you. So your position at 47 does not make you at the 79th percent level, it makes you the 80th percent level. So that rounds you up in this particular case. You are operating up now at the 80th, not 80th, 77th percent level, okay? You are at the 77th percentile. There is no symbol for percentile. You do not stick a percent on it. It describes the percent of the population which is below you. I am at the 77th percentile. Simple rounding procedure. It does not give you a middle section. It does not give you the right-hand section. It always talks about what's below you. So when you took standardized tests and they told you you were operating at the 95th percentile, that meant that 95% of the people were worse off than you were. You're pretty gifted. If someone compliments you saying you're at the 14th percentile, that's not a compliment. That means 14% of the people are worse off than you are, and there's a hell of a lot of people better than you are. So my percentile ranking in that particular class that I got a D in was not very good, but my knowledge base was good. Different story. Okay? So the rest of the problems we have here are all kind of iterations of this. We can buzz through these pretty quickly, because you're going to